going to Nagaland, which doesn't have a film industry or a TV industry. We went to the musicians and they're like, okay, you're not an actor, but at least you're an artist.
But there were these moments of, genuine understated humor, which is so beautiful about the whole scripting of it. 17th of January, India's favorite series returns. Paatal Lok is bigger, badder, bolder than ever before. And for me, Hrishi K, everybody who's watching and listening, I've been waiting and looking forward to this for a long, long time. Jaideep and Sudeep join me. Hi guys. Hi.
Hello.
Hi, Hrishi.
I'm just very intrigued by IMDb saying that Jahnu, Barua and Nagesh Kukunoor are acting in this.
Yes.
And they're such fantastic filmmakers. Though you could argue Nagesh started his career as an actor, because Hyderabad Blues he directed as well as acted.
Right.
So tell me about that casting coup. Was it your idea and how did it pan out?
So if I can talk about the larger casting of
Sure.
of this season, now, so we were going to this territory which doesn't have an industry of its own. We were going to Nagaland, which doesn't have a film industry or a TV industry.
True.
And there are no actors there. There's no theater there. So there was no talent that we could tap into and say, acha, normally what you would do, isko le lo, you would have.
For music there is.
For music
you
there
go to
is.
rock and roll,
so,
you
so
get
that's
bands.
what we did. So that, for example, that's what we did. We went to the musicians and they're like, okay, you're not an actor, but at least you're an artist.
Wow.
So you'll have some sense of it. So in this season, we have musicians, we have rappers, we have professors, singers, like all kinds of people. So then we were like, for these two parts, why don't we extend it and say we are not going to cast actors, and rather we would look at beyond actors, and hence the name of Jahnu sir and Nagesh that came up, that people we are aware of, but we have not seen them as actors, and that's why we really wanted them to look the part rather than an actor playing the part, and I think they've been able to bring that quality.
But was it a yes from Jahnu sir immediately, or did he take some time to react?
So he met us. He wanted to meet because it was a little, he was taken out of the blue, and then he wanted to meet us. He met us and he liked what he read and he immediately came on board. It was actually pretty simple. Wonderful. And then he cussed us for the rest of the series for making him do all those stuff that we made him do.
That's lovely. There was this relationship between Ansari and Hathi Chaudhary. दमना पार में एक रिश्ता था, एंड अब वो अंसारी पढ़ लिख कर प्रॉपर आईपीएस बन चुका है, एंड नाउ ही इज सिटिंग इन अ सर्टन औधा, एंड हाउ हाथी चौधरी रिएक्ट्स टू दैट is one of the interesting things, and of course the Northeast, which I'll come to in a little bit. And I feel that police officers also hunt in pairs, and to me Ansari and Hathi were that.
Yeah.
In this season, how has that relationship changed or matured from an actor's perspective?
Matured for definitely. I don't think changed. Changed in terms of very interior of these two guys. Outer world, of course.
Correct.
He's shifted to some other. But Hathiram is still Hathiram. But they are two different individuals also. It's a regrowth of that relationship because of the Ohda, as you said.
You hardly look for comedy in Paatal Lok, but there were these moments of, genuine understated humor, which is so beautiful about the whole scripting of it. Tillotama Shome once told me very recently, I think when I met her for Night Managers, she said, Hrishi, till I was 40, I never got great roles. And all of a sudden, now I'm getting these roles. Do you have a theory on that? Do you think that she's matured as a performer, or is just per chance? I mean, she's always been a brilliant actor. An actor is an actor.
Right. No, she's always been. I think as an industry, we are more accepting of these parts. Unfortunately, for actors of a certain vintage, Tili started working very early. At that point in time, there was no OTT, there were no shows that were getting made, and it was only films, and films were also of a particular type. Very rarely you would have an offbeat film, and for some reason, I think it is that now there are more avenues for actors to be able to, showcase their talent, and I think as an audience, as a larger country, I think we are more accepting of actors beyond heroes and heroines.
And I'm so glad we've gotten over that Fair and Lovely obsession.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's so beautiful to just let people be and you know, flourish as actor performers. One of the defining things for me in season 1 was two powerful actors, Neeraj Kabi and Jaideep Ahlawat, together on screen. Those scenes were just mesmerizing, magic. And now I'm looking forward to Tillotama Shome and Jaideep Ahlawat, you know, those scenes. And do you have enough scenes together?
Me and Tilo?
Scenes? Yeah.
Yes.
Great. So talk about that.
You'll see the meeting her first time in Nagaland, then the growth of that relationship. Of course, she's a senior officer than me, and it's her territory. So we are not welcomed. It's one of the best thing happening in Nagaland.
Are you from Guwahati basically?
I am from Guwahati.
Which is just wonderful because you know you are from the area, you know, the Seven Sisters. I'm sure you have an understanding. You've grown up amongst this. I always complained saying there were not enough series or movies made with the Northeast in mind. That is changing now. And there was almost a feeling that the locals felt they were a different country. Even this music thing. They used to come to the Northeast, do their show and go to Bangkok. That was a circuit.
Right.
You know, it was almost like there was a country where they had to go and perform.
Totally.
You know. Is that changing now? Are filmmakers like, I mean, you definitely are. Also because you belong. That is your Mati. Are filmmakers now viewing that saying, hey, this is an undiscovered terrain, the people, the culture. Can we do something around it? Do you see that excitement when you're having a drink with your fellow creators, when you hang out with them? Is there some kind of wanting, chah?
I would like to believe so.
Yeah.
You know, I would like to believe so. I mean, there are multiple reasons why it hasn't happened so far. It's also difficult to, it was difficult to pitch that story. The problem was even the few times that we went to the Northeast, it was for the element of exotica rather than really wanting to tell a Northeast story, you know. And there's a big difference in that. You know, you just go for the locations, then that's like back in the 60s we would go to Kashmir to shoot Kashmir Ki Kali without the film having to have any sort of, you know, rootedness in Kashmir. I think that's changing. You know, I think, and I'm hoping that would change further. It was, personally for me, it was a lot of joy to be able to go back to this place that I'm familiar with, that I grew up around, and then to be able to sort of wanting, you know, to go with that cha of tell stories about characters I've seen and I've heard about and I've grown up around, and to tell their story, you know, which we have not seen on screen so far.
This character changed your life, Jaideep. I mean,
yes.
Everybody, you knew you were a good actor, everybody knew you were a good actor, but everything else, all the other stuff you've done, the great stuff you've done, Broken News, this, that, pales in comparison to this, because this is what really made you. Is there a sense of belonging beyond an actor? Is that curiosity always there because of Paatal Lok being Paatal Lok?
100%. But when I'm on set now of Paatal Lok, it genuinely feels like, it's not just because of me. It's because of all the people involved in Paatal Lok. The energies of those people are so amazing.
It is. I mean, I've been on many sets. It's a special set.
And for you also, Jaideep must be that compass, because he's lived with the story from day one, or even before. So it's very easy, even if there are newcomers in terms of cast members, this, that, to kind of center them. He's like a sounding board. You can always chat with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, he's also sort of my bullshit meter. You know, if
he calls it out.
He calls it out.
Yeah.
He calls it out, and he calls it out in the only way he knows, which is directly. You know, if like ये मुझे ये समझ नहीं आ रहा है, या ये work नहीं कर रहा है, या ये क्यों बोल रहा है, you know, it's always it comes out and only makes things better. You know, only make things better, because then you're forced to kind of, you know, look beyond what your first thought was.
Your BGM is the same guy who did the last time?
Naren and Benedict,
Benedict. Fantastic.
Season 2,
fantastic.
They've gone leaps and bounds ahead of season 1. It's, I mean, I'm very proud of the work they've done.
And I like the fact that they know when to use silence. I mean, sometimes when there's no need, a lot of directors and BGM guys who overindulged,
Right.
where they don't have to say anything, just pull back, and it's so beautiful. Yeah, I wonder if that happens themselves, or is that your direction to them, or your Avinash's direction to them?
I mean, it's a mix of both. I think they have done all the stuff that I've done. In both seasons of Paatal Lok, they've done Kohra. They're also doing the second season of Kohra. And so they've also worked on films that I've written, Ulta Punjab and Soon Chidiya. So I mean, I have a long working relationship with them. We know each other and we know each other's tastes, and it works beautifully. It's.
I'd like to talk about your cinematographer. I'd like to talk about your synergy with the camera person. Is it the same cinematographer?
Avinash has
directing and he's
beautiful. How does he manage that? I mean, it's like
that's the only way he knows. No, because really he started off as a cinematographer, so the lens with which he enters a film or a show.
So even a handheld, he's the guy who's going behind you.
most of the time.
Who's a surprise package from the Northeast cast, the people you have cast, who people are going to look and say, whoa, this is amazing? Who's the girl you've cast? Rose?
Merilla M. Song. I think she's wonderful. She's wonderful.
Marilla is good.
Marilla is very
She's
good.
very nice.
Elsie is
there.
He's a rapper. Elsie
Prashant is
Sekose. He's very good. Prashant Tamang, who is an ex-Indian Idol winner.
Ex-Indian Idol.
Wow.
Indian Idol 3 winner. It's his first.
Yeah, I remember Prashant.
I would love to see the Jahnu Barua because I have few scenes with him. I would love to see.
I mean, they're all great. And given that it's the first time that they're acting, some of them, Merilla has worked before, of course, but the others, it's incredible what they've done.
Yeah, Marilla and Elsie for sure.
Yeah.
Is there enough of Gul in this episode? My last question is about the writing room, Sudeep. I mean, for you guys, it might look very unglamorous because आपका तो रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी का काम है, आप एक टेबल पर बैठे और काम किया, but हम लोगों के लिए as outsiders is very fascinating. And how many writers do you have on this? There's Abhishek, there's
there are three.
yourself.
Abhishek, Tamal and Rahul. So the three of them.
Couldn't have been perfect synergy all the time, right?
It never is. It never is. It's impossible.
Yeah, so I want you to talk to me about that
I mean,
writing group.
You take two writers in a room and you'll have three opinions. Because it's just, writing is so personal.
Yeah.
It is so personal. But then I think the job, my job then becomes that take what I'm to get from them and then do something with it, and so kind of give it this uniform sort of a voice. And it's great, whatever they've all brought in terms of their voices. It's only kind of enriched it, but it's also a lot of sardard. Dealing with. It's almost like suddenly you have four voices in your head instead of one.
And sometimes you have to call time, right?
Yeah.
के बस
No,
कुछ
for
देर
sure.
बाद मिलते हैं.
For
बहुत
sure.
हो गया.
For sure. You have to play the schoolmaster all the time.
Yeah, but I think when you see the end result and we are all like one family, and I'm sure the second time around it must have been a little more, now we understand each other.
It was a lot better. No, it's a new set of writers this time.
Oh.
It's a completely new set of writers compared to the last one. Thankfully, I had more experience in the first season. While writing it, I was as rookie as they were, and it was difficult. It was easier, a little easier this time.
Beautiful. Can't wait to see it. 17th of January on Amazon Prime Video. Paatal Lok is back. Thank you, Sudeep. Thank you, Jaideep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
94.3 Radio 1.